All right, everybody, this is Randall, Floribama Homesteader, and my camera woman, my wife, Michelle. All right, so here's what just happened. We went all the way to the west coast of Louisiana for a fig tour, tasting, event, gathering with friends for 2 full days. It was a wonderful time. We get back, I go out to check my figs for ripe figs. And whenever I first walk up to our LSU Champagne, right down the center of the tree, this limb was blown over and it was broke. You can see right there where it was broke off right at the soil. And we got a few roots right there. So rather than just cutting the limb off and throwing it away, we're going to propagate this thing and we're going to get several brand new trees out of this. It'll take a few months for this to root, get some leaves on it and get going to where we can do something with it, plant it in the ground, or anyway, we're going to end up with a few extra trees out of this hazardous mistake here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to the bottom of this, right here where it was in the soil. I got some little hair roots showing. Come up, and there's a node there. Come up a few more inches. There's a node. There's a node. And what a node is where a leaf was. A leaf had joined. Typically, right at the nodes, those are where you're potentially you're going to get your roots to develop and your new leaves to develop. So we're going to come up a couple of nodes. We're going to cut this thing right here.
We're going to attempt to cut it. There we go.
Trying not to make a mess of it and break it all to pieces. That's a nice, hardy, thick piece of wood. I'm really hoping that this thing will take off and do well. What we're going to do is we're going to take our Clonex rooting hormone gel.
Sure. Okay.
You just go to any of the hydroponic stores. You can order it on Amazon. There's numerous places where you can get rooting. And sometimes you can go to Walmart. They sell a different type of rooting. It's in a powder, and that's what I've always used in the past, was the powder. Some people have had better results with the dip and grow gel, so we're going to do some of these this time. So right down the bark where we're going to put this gel, we're just going to take our knife and we're going to score. And what you do is you're going to wound it, and right where that wound, it's going to take up this gel, and then roots should start to come out around where that wound is. We'll just take our finger, and I got little hair roots on this part, and I'm just going to put some of the gel down around here. Now this is just going to help the plant to force roots. I've already got bumps around the bottom right here. See those bumps? Those are potential roots. The only thing I'm not sure about is this big open gash right here, how that's going to affect. So we're going to put a little hormone on that just to see. Just spread that all the way around. And the reason I'm putting my finger in here, because this end's got dirt on it, and I'm not going to dip this dirty stick into my my grow mix and contaminate it. We'll go over here to our pot. This is all just white sand. You can go to Lowe's, Home Depot, get a bag of construction sand. We happen to live in an area that has white sand, so we just go down the street and we just take it right out of a sand pile. And so, all right, we're going to give that one a few weeks. We should start seeing some growth right around these nodes. It'll start pushing little buds, little leaves, and then we'll start seeing this thing really take off. Now, as you go up the nodes get tighter and tighter. So you get all the way to the top, and the nodes are really close together. You typically want to have 3 or 4 nodes, 2 in the soil, 2 above the soil, and that's about the standard. So we're going to come up. There's a node right here, a node right there. So we would put this into the sand right around here somewhere, leave a couple of nodes, take the cutting. Alright, so come up a couple of nodes, leave a couple of nodes, and we're going to go one more. Take the cutting. 2 nodes, leave a couple of nodes, cut it. All this wood grew this year. This is all brand new growth. Typically on your brand new growth, you usually get a root set faster on that. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 potential plants that we're going to have here. So now that we've got the dirty one stuck, and typically you're not supposed to do this, but I'm just going to dip it right into my dip and grow. Oh, I got to go back and draw a scar down the side of it. Just take my knife and just cut it. Some people will actually take some of the skin off of it. I don't like doing that. I think that just creates too much of a wound. We're just going to open it up. Give it more dip and grow. Let's stick that in that sand. Every day we're going to come out here and moisten this sand. The reason we use sand is water will go through the sand and it doesn't hold the moisture. When you hold moisture and you have organic matter in there, then you're going to introduce bacterias and funguses and stuff, and your likelihood of rooting will go down. So the sand just allows the water just to go through, but it'll hold a little bit of moisture, but it won't stay soggy wet. Alright, that's all it takes to propagate figs. Figs are one of the easiest things that you can root from cuttings. This is how we do our cuttings. We'll moisten this soil down. We'll come out every day. We'll give it just a little mist and keep that sand wet. I'm going to put it over here underneath the eave of the garage where it can stay out of the sun. This is the north side of the building, so sun won't hit any of that right there. And we're just going to keep it in shade until these things start putting on roots and putting on leaves. Then we're going to take them out, pot them up. We'll put them back in the shade until they can get through the shot. And then after a couple of weeks of being in the shade with leaves, in new soil, new pots of their own, then you can take them out and give them partial sun and then plant them out in the field once they're well established. Alright, so we'll do a follow-up video whenever these things start coming along, and we'll show you what happens.